Welcome back to the Morning Edition. This week is Women's Week with a focus on a number of issues affecting women in this country, among them political and economic empowerment. Also, a global issue affecting women remains on the doorstep of our country and is said to be on the rise. Gender-based violence now reaching alarming figures, with local organizations and women's groups calling for action at various levels. Here's Betty Thompson-Moss.
Gender-based violence remains a prevalent issue in societies around the world. In the Bahamas, statistics are showing an upswing in abuse. Over the past 7 to 8 months, there were 126 new cases.
This is alarming because in past years, this number has tripled. There is great concern for gender-based violence in our country, as people are being affected in their personal lives as well as in their homes.
Marissa Mason-Smith is a member of the Women's Advisory Council and the national chairperson for Zonta Advocacy Committee. She feels the pandemic has certainly contributed to the escalation in cases.
In our communities, we're seeing more and more violence taking place. As a result of the pandemic, loss of income, there's a lot of challenges that are being faced by families today. We are also seeing now that in most recent times, the murders that are taking place in our country. Most recently, we have had a mother and a daughter who was killed. We've had children killed. We've had men killed. So gender-based violence does not just focus on women, but it focuses on people in general.
With such a wide impact, the questions facing local advocacy groups, how to resolve conflict, and to what degree can help be provided.
And so during the next 16 days of activism, as declared by the United Nations, the Zonta Club of the Bahamas will be hosting several initiatives. In particular, we are hosting educational forums, women empowerment sessions, and so we're highlighting the need to say no to violence in all its forms. We're providing educational opportunities, job readiness programs for women who are unemployable and who are unemployed, and giving them the necessary skills that are necessary.
While skills and training are necessary, there is also the need for tighter laws to help curb gender-based violence.
A resolution was signed by NGOs saying that we need to have stiffer laws and greater penalties for perpetrators. And we started the work, and at this point, due to the pandemic, we have not been able to escalate that work. But it is actively being pursued, and we anticipate that by early next year, we should have some draft, and the bill should be presented to Parliament. We do believe that we have enough evidence and support to demonstrate why we need to have stiffer penalties and our laws need to be strengthened.
With legislation still pending, community education will pump up this year with a special focus on Nassau Village, the site of several gender-based violent activities.
We're going to be the tying of the bowls, first and foremost, on the corner and of Nassau Village as well as through the community, which highlights that we say no to violence in all its forms. Again, we're offering training programs for the women in the community to help upgrade them and to standardize their life and their living. We're also going to be having several town hall meetings with the youth, with the church, with women's health issues, because we've also realized that this pandemic has affected women's health. Women are stressed, men are stressed, children are stressed. And so we're going to provide tips on how to survive all of this.
And so the fight is on to not only survive the pandemic, but to reduce a form of violence affecting 1 out of every 3 women in our society. For the Morning Edition, I'm Betty Thompson-Moss.